What the fuck is up, everybody? It's your boy Trader Main back with another live stream. Bitcoin back above $110,000 after trading into the weekly fair value gap that your boy Trader Main so generously posted for you on Twitter, TikTok, fucking Telegram, everywhere. Stream enjoyers know that we were waiting for a retest of this area, that we were looking for price to come and tag this fair value gap and then trade higher. It also ended up being an H12 SFP, a daily SFP. And it came right into that level, and it wasted no time V-bottoming right out of there all the way back to the highs. So things are looking pretty good. Massive hate from Romania. Is this a new thing? What's up, guys? What's up? Thanks, Rush. Appreciate it, man. What's up, Iran? Donald Trump, what's up, bro? Just passed your eval. Let's fucking go, dude. So, guys, like, I hope you're making some money. I hope you positioned yourself, made some money on the long side. The Elon Trump kind of public feud seemed to be the catalyst for that final move down into that fair value gap, and now we're pushing back up, and it looks really good. I'm not telling you that you need to long right here. I actually think we have the exact same context for a trade that we did back here. Remember what we always talk about, the all-time high trade being, in my opinion, one of the easier trades. If this thing's going to go, right, it's going to reclaim this level. And then when it does, you just long for the breakout. So if you missed longing down here, right, you didn't get any of this price leg, then you simply just wait for this to break above all-time high, in my opinion. And I know it's like gay, being like, I don't want to wait, but to me, this is like longing directly into resistance after price has gone up $10,000 in the last, 7 days. Less. The bottom was on the 5th. It's now the 9th. It's been 4 days. So in 4 days, we're up 10% in a straight line. So I don't think longing right here is the solution. Now, are there things that you can long? Yes. ETH looks really good. There's lots of altcoins that look really good. And if Bitcoin even just consolidates here, there's going to be very likely, I'm about to sneeze. I'm not going to do it. Don't fucking do it. Even if Bitcoin consolidates here, there very likely is going to be a lot of altcoins that rip and are going to look really good. So we'll go over some of those options for you guys as well. But hopefully some of you guys made money here. I even posted on Friday or something when we were trading here. I said this is at the very least going for 107, which was just this high and possibly higher, and it just, fucking ripped straight through. So it looks really good. I got no complaints here. Whatever that guy's name is, Joyful June, seems to be what we're getting. Quite joyful. I think a lot of people were very quick to think June was going to just for sure be bearish. Maybe it could be. But remember, the low of the week, the low of the month got put in early. Who's to say that this isn't the monthly low now for the entire month of June? It very well could be. So no different than using Monday's range, right? And we say, okay, look, boom. And then this is your weekly candle closes like this, right? And it's a bullish candle. And the low of the week here was on a Tuesday. And then you get the high of the week on Thursday. Right? And then the weekly close somewhere around here, let's say. This is Monday's candle. Well, the monthly candle forms the exact same. We traded like this. June, bang. Now we're trading here. Who's to say that maybe the monthly low is already in? It's early in the month, right? If we would have traded up to start the month, maybe that would have been the monthly high. Still possible, but just showing you that you can use that same concept with those candle ranges the exact same way here. So I think Bitcoin looks really good. I don't see any reason to be bearish unless we get, again, some sort of rejection here, right? Like if we come up above the high and get back below, by all means, you can short it. Like if we do this, break down, retest, right? So we trade up, back below. Sure, you can short that. But just shorting this on its own, you're just fading strength right now. There's no good reason to do that, in my opinion. I do think that this is an area where we could at least chill the fuck out. So if you longed here, from here to here is not a terrible area to start taking at least even a little bit of profit or adjusting those stops. But if you're looking for fresh long positions, I don't think Bitcoin is the coin you want to be doing that with. I think there's better coins that are going to offer better setups, and we're going to go over some of those. Okay? Hate from San Marino. I'm getting hate from all over the world. I'm like Ludacris. You know, he's got hoes in different area codes. I got hate in different area codes, different fucking parts of the planet. Hate from California. We've got hate from Vancouver. This is my neighbor. More hate from Vancouver. Hate from San Marino. I don't even know where that is. Hate from Romania. Massive hate from Romania. That's awesome. Send me all your hate, baby. Hate from Indonesia. I do love Bali. Hate from Spain. My goodness. So, I don't think that longing Bitcoin here makes any sense. I think you missed the move already. Like, if you didn't get in somewhere down here, I think you missed the move. I do think we probably go higher. We probably make a new all-time high. But at the very least, some kind of resistance here, some kind of consolidation, and then probably go again, right? Like, we have a fair value gap here. But if we get another H12 candle that trades like this, right, we'll have a new fair value gap here, and that's probably where I'd be looking for the continuation long. So those are going to be the two scenarios. I don't really have much to talk about on Bitcoin, to be honest with you. We're into some resistance now. I don't think that this is a bad area to take some profit. I'm not saying sell your spot, but if you got leverage long down here, at least TPing some here, I think this is pretty good area. If we are going to break out, it's the very easy setup, right? I'll show you. So if we're going to break out, remember, the all-time high longs are easy to contextualize. You just use that level. We still have that same level here, 109,951. Look what happened last time. We traded above it, got back below, swept, traded down. So if we see anything like this, any sort of sweep here, and then rejection, then you can short. But shorting now, no sense in my opinion. Doesn't make any sense. Like if you're shorting here and your stops here, I just don't think that's a good trade. Personally, I'd rather see something like this if you want to short. Now on the long side, we're looking for something like this. Okay? We're looking for something like this. You've got your very clear level there. If we get above it, start closing above, holding, you just put your stop below that breakout level and you just long it. Okay? Same thing as back here. I'll find the older ones too. Same thing as back here. Okay? Look, here's the old all-time high. This is the exact same trade. Right? Consolidated right at the high. Clearly broke out. Stop below. You just long. Because you think it's going to go way higher. So we're treating this the exact same way now. If this is going to go way higher, I wait for a breakout of the level. If we get that clear breakout of the level, I'm putting a stop below and I'm just long. Simple. Okay? Otherwise, I'll wait for some sort of lower time frame setup. So maybe we consolidate here. Maybe we get a pullback into this little H4 order block here. Maybe we do something like this. then that's a setup on its own. But the breakout trade is you want to see us break out above here. Soon as we get that, right? If it's holding, doesn't deviate back below, right? We want to see it above, stop, long it, hold for 120, 130K. Easy, easy, easy. But I'm not longing this area right here. Now, in terms of how we got, we knew where the bottom was going to be. I had a feeling we were going to come and take this weekly fair value gap because we generally fill these on Bitcoin, right? We bottomed in the weekly fair value gap back here. We bottomed in the weekly fair value gap back here, right? This is a weekly fair value gap we bottomed. This is a weekly fair value gap we bottomed. Here's a weekly fair value gap where we've bottomed. So I had a good feeling that we were going to come mitigate that at the very least. This candle looked ugly, ended up closing very nicely. We had the H12 and the daily sweep, but we also had this critical 102K level. You remember this level? Where'd this level come from? Why is this an important level? This is the highest monthly close we had ever had until here, until the month of May. That was our old all-time high monthly close. Clearly, it was a key level because you can see here on the low time frame, once we got back above that, right, deviated below, got back above, retest, and it was just off to the races. Off to the races. So if you didn't even long this, once we got back above 102, there's pretty good chance we were going to trade higher. We also inverted all the fucking fair value gaps and all that bullshit there, all that ICT nonsense. So looks good. Send it. Happy with how Bitcoin looks. We'll wait and see if we get any signs of rejection here, but I'm not just shorting this. I think that's stupid. I think people get obsessed with the idea of shorting and every top's going to fail. It very well could pull one of these. We could do this. Anything can happen, right? We could be making a slightly higher high and they could reject, but shorting this entire move up is stupid. Once you have a clear failure, a breakdown, then you can get involved on the short. You know where your trade idea is wrong. So if you're eager to short because you're gay, that's what I'd be looking for. Signs of rejection. We don't have any of that yet, okay? So we're going to talk about ETH next because I think ETH, if you're looking to long something, this is a much more interesting setup. Love from Denver. Let's go, baby. Neck is looking small. Listen, it's only looking small because I've been actively trying to lose a little bit of weight. Your boy's been doing some intermittent fasting, trying to get a little summer shred going. It's a little hard because I'm fucking old and the weather's so goddamn nice. All I want to do is sit outside and drink beers on a patio. I got hate in different magistrates. There you go. Is there a WhatsApp channel for this? No, I do have a Telegram. I do have a Telegram group. Yeah, I'm doing 16 and 8. Bro, I know. James Wynn literally got liquidated before the breakout. It made perfect sense. It made perfect sense that James Wynn gave up and went from longing 9 figures, 10 figures, right? He was longing $1 billion to now he's longing $50 and begging for donations and crying about some stupid fucking meme coin. I refuse to buy the facade that he's trying to put on that he does not give a fuck. I don't care. He gives a fuck. Oh, stop, Master Plumber. You're too kind. What's up from Brisbane? That's where my boy lives. Thanks, Justice. Okay. So I think the Ethereum setup is a lot more interesting than the Bitcoin setup, and I'll explain why. Bitcoin is up a lot. I'm not saying ETH is not up a lot. ETH is up, as much if not more. But to me, this structure here is very, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Because if this structure breaks out, this is now a month-long consolidation. So you have ETH USD with a month long of consolidated price action sideways, right? That's like this. Okay, this wasn't quite a month long, but you see how this ended? This is like a bigger version of this, in my opinion. And coupled with this consolidation, right? It's the inverse of this. Right? Coupled with this consolidation, you have ETH BTC looking like this. Looking like a whole ass motherfucking snack. Sitting right here after reclaiming a monthly low for the first time in years. First time in years. Okay? Traded below that monthly low. Put a big swing low in there. It's back above. It's holding this order block here, which will then become a breaker, obviously. Right? This is a weekly breaker. Monthly SFP, weekly breaker. So if this legs up to here, okay, and I know this doesn't seem like a big move, but this is 10 to 15%. With how ETH USD looks, this thing's going to rip to 3,200 or something like that. And I think a lot of people will pile in once we start getting above here. So I definitely think if you're like, I need to long right now, you want to be looking at things like ETH, even though ETH is already up 5-6% on the day. I think this is going to be a coin where you want to be like, okay, if we get some sort of dip at any point this week, I want to potentially be looking to long ETH instead of Bitcoin. Because yes, Bitcoin's at resistance, but if Bitcoin goes sideways here, like if Bitcoin just, does this, like sideways, and ETH BTC legs up, ETH is going to put in a silly candle. Now, I know we've all been waiting. We've all been waiting for what seems like forever, but this is probably the best looking ETH setup that we've had in a significant amount of time. And once it does clear this zone, to me, the next level is not to like 3,200. So that's a pretty decent bounce, right? Pretty decent move still available in ETH. Whereas, okay, maybe Bitcoin is going to break out and it's ready to go here, but I think the ETH move's bigger just based on how ETH BTC looks. And we also have, right, the yearly open. Right? Like that to me is the draw. Now, could all of this go to shit? Of course. But until Bitcoin shows me a reason that it's not going to remain strong, I'm going to assume it's going to either consolidate or go higher. If it does something like this, right? Something like this, something like back here, if it does one of these, by all means, we get the fuck out of Dodge. But this is why I love the all-time high area. Because back here, right, if this rally was going to sustain, price would have held above this level. Instead, you got to sweep, you got to structure break, get the fuck out, right? Same thing back here, right? If we were going to go higher, we should have held above this level. Right? But we didn't. We failed. We broke market structure. Started trading lower. Broke structure again. Traded even lower. So until we get that sign of weakness, I'm just going to assume that this is about to expand higher or at the very least go sideways. If we for some reason get some rejection up here, then you can become bearish. Right? But trying to guess the top, I just don't think that that's a worthwhile trade. I'm much more interested in shorting when there's a reason. Sweep, structure break, sweep, structure break. Failure to hold above the old all-time high level. Until we get that here, fuck you. Until we get that here, I'm going to assume strength, or at the very least consolidation. And in either of those scenarios, I think ETH is primed to do pretty well. Instead of reject, I'd rather we just go up. Can we do that instead? I would much rather we just go up as well. I'm sorry if I sound a little stuffed, man. My allergies are fucked right now. Love from Amsterdam. Thanks, brother. It's just allergies. I swear to God. Main's making me so bullish on ETH, I might start speaking in Arabic memes only. Dude, I don't want to be the fucking ETH bull poster. Like, everyone's like, the ETH rally is going to be so hated, and I could not disagree more. I think everyone on Twitter is fucking praying that ETH finally goes up. Like, we all are praying for the same thing. We all want ETH to fucking go up. So, you know, hopefully this is finally the fucking time where this consolidation, coupled with the ETH BTC setup, coupled with the fact that as long as BTC doesn't do something retarded, it goes up. It should. It really, really should. Maybe it doesn't, but it fucking should. Yeah, like this is so lovely too. Like any sort of pullback here, just ape it. Ape it like a motherfucker if you get that lucky. Imagine like we're putting in a fresh weekly demand here, dude. And we like close this week above here. And then we get a retest of this. Oh my God, that would be horny as fuck. That would be horny as fuck. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But the pieces of the like the recipe, all the pieces, all the things that we need for ETH to finally do something are there. Just whether or not it actually fucking happens is the question. So, love from Hyperborea. Is that even a real place? Hated rally is the ETH move past all-time high after everyone sells 3,300. Very possible. Very possible. Do you think Solana trenches will have another rip? I don't know. I'm not locked in on the trenches enough to know what the fuck's going on with the trenches. You know what I mean? Like, are they dead? Are you guys maybe realizing that the trenches I think maybe the trenches aren't as good as everyone seems to think they are? Do you ever take order block to the dog beach? Yeah, I do. Love from Agatha from South London. Wow. Okay. Fucking allergies are killing me right now. Conan Crept says, don't you dare skip my comment, Necklord. Or no, Knackhead. What the hell's a Knackhead? I didn't even see your comment, bro, so I'm skipping it. Now, new runner is top 30 mil. Appreciate you. The mayor of Australia hates me. Incredible. Of course, I've been in Toronto. So, here's what I would love. You guys want to know my pie in the sky fucking scenario? My pie in the sky scenario is actually that we don't break out yet. It's that we like go sideways longer. Maybe we get another little correction, right? Somewhere within this price leg, a little bit of a deeper one, right? And then we get a giga rally into the end of this year. And some people might like be like, oh, well, that's gay. I want to go up now. But to me, I would much rather us have another 6 months of bullishness as opposed to this being it. Like, there's a world where like we go up and Bitcoin goes to 140K, but then what? Is it over? Like, then the bull run's over? I would much rather there be like I would much rather us top at the end of the year than top a month from now or 2 months from now. So my pie in the sky, most bullish outcome is that actually we don't top until, like here, but like this time frame, dude. Like we don't top until here. And so what happens between here and here is the most fun part of the bull market, right? Like it's the Pareto principle. 80% of money is made 20% of the time. And the last 20% of the bull run generally is going to be when shit goes the craziest. So I don't know. We'll see. We've got CPI this week. We've got a lot of stuff. To consider. Seasonality, summer-wise. Like, what's going on with stocks? Like, we're getting to a point here, structurally, where this is like a gigasend. You know what I mean? Like, we either reject very soon, or this is gigasend COVID 2.0 to new highs. Like, it's the same as this. Structurally, it's the same. So if they're gonna slam it, they better fucking do it soon, because they are running out of time. Same thing back here, right? Like, this is just gigasend price action in the making, and we're basically doing the exact same thing here. So if the bears want to step in, they better step the fuck in. Hate from England Island. A lot of people are projecting end of Q3, Q4. I mean, that's just the 4-year cycle, right? It's not even rocket science. It's just that's what's happened every time, right? There's 4 years. There's 4 years. This would put us at, 4 years. 4 years before that. It's not even on this chart, but it was the same thing. So we'll see. Losing my neck is bearish. Bro, I got pretty heavy, bro. I was just lifting heavy and I was eating like a motherfucker, and it's a lot harder to deal with that the older you get, man. Like, I'm 46, and as soon as I turned 40, man, my metabolism just slowed down like crazy. Okay, we're gonna do Solana next. And then we will do some of your suggestions. I saw Fartcoin in there. I mean, I gave you guys the fucking Schmeeko low on Fartcoin. I don't know what else you could want from me. I told you, I said sub $1 Fartcoin is coming. I marked out this low. I mean, what else do you want? What else could you possibly want? Looks good. Where can you learn more about the concepts? Go on the WAP. That's where all the educational videos are. Okay, so we're going to look at Sol. I can't believe you guys think I would lie to you about my age. I know I don't look like I'm 44 and a half, but I am. That's just the reality of it, We got to live with it. You got to play with the cards you're dealt. So Solana, pretty straightforward, right? Came into the weekly order block here, took out that prior's week low, and it's pumping. Do I still think I prefer ETH? Yes, because I still think that this chart isn't quite done selling off yet. Maybe it's close, but I have a feeling that we're going to just come a little bit lower on this chart, right? Maybe wash out a couple of these more lows here, and then maybe we get that rotation back. And so when this stops going down, right, this is when I think the trenches maybe get their renaissance that some of you guys are waiting for. So maybe we do one of these, and then it's back to Solana outperforming ETH season. But if you're like, hey, the trenches are fucking not good right now, maybe you should be focused on ETH meme coins, right? Like, is SPX 6900 not an ETH meme? And how's this look? Right? Like how some of these ETH memes look. A lot of these ETH memes look a lot better than some of these Sol memes. So maybe this is where you need to be paying your attention. If you're a meme coin guy, maybe you need to be looking at some of these Ethereum-based memes instead of some of the Solana-based memes. Right? What's the OG of all the ETH memes? Pepe? Does this look like it just put in a swing low? Right? So follow the money, man. If ETH is going to go to 3K, you want to be looking at ETH beta as opportunities. Let's see if ENA has gone up at all. Oh, baby. And my average is actually closer to 30 cents now because we got filled a little more on the way down here. So I think if we're going to have a season right now, I'm hoping it's an ETH season. I actually saw... But yeah, Sol's into demand here. Like, this looks good. I'm not saying Sol looks like shit. I'm just saying it doesn't look as good as ETH. Like, this is probably starting to round off. This is exactly where the higher low should probably form for Sol BTC. No? Yes or yes? I'd say that's, like, pretty darn close. For potential higher low. Now, if you look at, I was going to look at something important. Now I forgot. Oh, yeah. Where's our boy Link Marine? Where's Link Marine? Link BTC actually kind of looks potentially interesting, okay? And I'll show you why. I think that if Link BTC can reclaim this level, it can go on a little bit of a run. Right? You've got a definite bullish divergence forming here. And if it's able to reclaim this, I bet you Link BTC goes on a run. So some of these BTC pairs are starting to look interesting. And then you go look at the USD pair and you ask yourself, is there a setup here? And I'd say Link, yeah, there's a setup here, right? It's coming off this weekly breaker. Put in a weekly SFP here. I would venture to say this is probably a decent long. Even here. Like, could you have a tighter stop? You could wait for it to break above this. And then you could probably get your stop like even tighter. But you could punt on something. Like, there's lots of coins that are setting up like this. Lots and lots of coins are setting up like this. So rather than chase Bitcoin, which is like done this already, there's coins like this that I think are going to give you a better risk reward. Haven't really mooned as hard yet. And are going to be better setups. Like Sol for sure is getting very close. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. Romance, great name. He says he's like 39 years old, looks old and withered, but the voice gives it away. Okay, bro. You know who looks old and fucking withered? Your mom, bro. You should give her a call. You should call her. Let me know if you need her number. Do you think there's going to be a slight pullback on ETH for me to open my long? Yes, I think ETH is going to wait for you to get into your trade. You got to find the setup, bro. Like, you know, this is like at some point you got to figure out where you're going to put your entry in. But do I think ETH is going to pull back? I would hope so. But this might have been like your entry window here. And now it's going to leg up again. And you got to just wait if you didn't get in already. Is TARS worth buying? I have no idea what TARS is. Doc's hairline. I'm fucking bald. The fuck you mean Doc's hairline? There isn't one. Bro, Plasma 500 million inject Solana real. I mean, I have no idea. I don't really know. I don't really know. We can look at Hype. Hype is just another one of those coins that's just been, you know, easy. I gave you guys the fair value gap here. Where was this? H12? Yeah. Daily. Gave you the fair value gap. It came, it tagged. And sure enough, one of the strongest coins with the most active people pushing it on Twitter. Revenue buyback fucking pumped. So not too surprising there, right? Like, again, no reason to be super concerned here. If this thing's able to hold above here, you can probably just long it and put your stop like down there. Polymarket collab with X is huge. And it's on Polygon. So is it good to buy Polygon? I mean, maybe. Yeah, like so many coins, dude, are putting in the same type of setup here. Like they're all trying to put in like weekly higher lows. So this is an okay setup. It's an okay setup for sure. Is it the best setup on the market right now? I don't know. But it's not horrible. It's not horrible. Could really bring up your stop there if you wanted, like right under the breaker. But again, if it can hold this, like a lot of coins are trying to put in this similar type of PA right now. Everything's trying to put in a weekly higher low. Some of these coins, right? Like some of these random bullshit coins, they're attempting. It's tempting to put in a higher low here. It's just starting. It's still early. It's still early for a lot of these coins. Look at the Bitcoin weekly candle. Okay, and then look at the weekly candle on some of these other coins. They're just starting. They're just starting. Now, I'm not longing some of this dog shit, but there's going to be a lot of setups here. Someone said Tau. I think that was probably your entry on Tau right there. Looking at the H12, I would say yeah, so I mean, I'm either like hoping that it comes back down into here, or I'm waiting for it to break above this, and then I'm looking for that fresh price, like that fresh order block that will form there. Any thoughts on Tia? Chris Bernisk is probably rolling in his grave, bro. Like, looks okay. Again, so much stuff is trying to put in the same setup. I think there's just a lot of hate for this coin. Maybe that will help it pump. But we put in a sweep at the low here. put in a sweep. So if it's able to reclaim this, right, you have this 12-hour breaker basically. Well, actually, this is your breaker, excuse me. But if it's able to reclaim this old low and this, I think it becomes interesting. Why was TIA super strong and it's not anymore? Because there was endless dumping from people like Chris Bernisk who got their seed allocation and it started vesting and they just started infinite selling it. KeyCat. I haven't seen that chart in a while. All right, the problem with this chart, I hate charts that look like this. Like, I hate when it looks like this with the big wicks and the fucking, all these candles are just kind of like overlapping each other. I just find it messy and it annoys my OCD. Again, so many coins are trying to put in higher lows here. So, like, if you're throwing darts at stuff, anything that pulls back like this, the market's strong, like, place your bets. Put some bets on. If we're going to get continuation, you want this. This is what you're trying to bet on right here. Higher low, right? This is what happens sometimes, right? Higher low, move up. Sometimes it does this. You bet on there being a higher low, and it just doesn't happen, right? You bet on this being a higher low, goes up a bit, but then it makes a lower low. Like, all you're doing is making a guess. You're making an educated, calculated guess. So if you say, hey, this is coming into some demand here, the market's bullish, this is a good spot for a higher low, my stop goes below here, my target is at least into here, is this worth taking a gamble on? You kind of got a little late on the entry there, right? But even from the current price, this pays 1.5 on your money if you're right. So it's either going to work or it's not going to work. But you've got to be willing to accept that sometimes you're going to bet on this being a higher low, and this is going to happen, and you're going to be very happy. Sometimes you're going to bet on it being a higher low, and this happens, and you're wrong, and you lose a little bit of money. So that's, again, you can tell me to look at 50 different charts. 90% of them are doing the same thing, right? They're trying to put in a higher low on the high time frame. AVAX, this is trying to put in a higher low right here. Are you willing to take that gamble? Is that a trade? Look, put in a weekly SFP there. You could long this right now with your stop there. Or you can zoom in, right? There you go. This is a weekly H12 setup right there. So if this candle closes in 38 minutes, right? No, 48 minutes. If it closes like this, you could long this with your stop there and your target there. And you're just betting on this being a weekly higher low. Is the risk reward decent? I'd say that's pretty good. So how many charts are giving you this setup? You want more confirmation? Okay, how does AVAX look versus Bitcoin? Oh, this looks interesting as well. Versus BTC, it's put in a huge SFP here at the low. On the H12, it's clearly trying to reclaim and hold that. It's holding the breaker. Right? There's your up candle for the down move that caused the SFP. I bet you on the 8 hour, it's already put in a structure break. There you go. It's got the MSB as well. So there's your market structure break. This is your breaker. So you're kind of late to this one. Well, on the Bitcoin pair, right? You're late on the Bitcoin pair. This already looks like it's ready to break higher. And if that's the case, then the dollar trade, this probably makes a lot of sense based on how the Bitcoin one looks as well. This is probably a pretty decent setup if the market's going to continue higher. But again, we're just we're going through our watch list and you're throwing darts, you're making bets, right? What setup do you see the most clearly? What's going to offer you a good risk reward? So like, what are the things you're looking for? I think you're looking for at least 1.5 to 2R, right? If the setup doesn't at least give you that, there's probably a better one out there. Okay. Do you have a bullish bias on the weekly, the H12? How does it look versus Bitcoin? How does it look versus the stronger coin right now, which is ETH? If you're like, hey, looks good here, looks good here, looks good here, looks good here, fucking take the trade. You know what I mean? You don't need me to tell you. You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to take stabs at it. If you sit there and you wait for the perfect setup and you go, I don't know if this one's gonna work, you're never gonna learn anything, you're never gonna catch any trades. Be willing to be wrong. I think one of the biggest issues people have is they are scared of being wrong. So they refuse to sometimes take a setup that might be like, hey, this ticks all the boxes of my system. Then why aren't you taking the trade? And if you think Bitcoin's going to pull back, okay? Let's say Bitcoin, just hypothetically speaking, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say Bitcoin does this, which is completely reasonable. It's just not that big of a pullback. It's like 2%. Let's say Bitcoin does this, and then this is support, and you expect Bitcoin to continue. Well, then when Bitcoin gets here, what are you going to do? Are you going to shit your pants? Are you going to cry in the casino? No, right? You're going to have your alert set. You're going to say, okay, well, if Bitcoin pulls back 2%, and I really like that AVAX setup, maybe it's going to pull back a little harder, 5%, and maybe I'll be able to get in at this H12 order block here. And so if Bitcoin pulls back 2%, this pulls back 5%, and they both come into support at the same time, and you think AVAX BTC looks bullish, and this is 2R, take the fucking trade. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a pussy. Be willing to risk the money. Be willing to risk the money. And if you're saying, hey, but if this does this and I get stopped out, I'm going to be fucked, then you're risking too much. But if you know that this is just 1R if you're wrong and you get 2R if you're right. So you either lose whatever you're comfortable losing, that's what your 1R should be, or you double your money. That's a bet that you need to be willing to take. It's an asymmetric risk reward in your favor because you only have to be right 33.33 repeating % of the time. If these are the setups you're taking, you only have to be right 1 out of 3 times just to break even. So if all of a sudden you're right, your hit rate is 45%, less than half, but every trade you're taking is 2R, you're making money. Even 40%, you're making money. 35%, you're making money. Not much, but you are. And at 1 out of 3, you're breaking even. Can you be right 1 out of 3 times on these bets? Fuck yeah, you can. Like, that's, I think, one of the things that's preventing a lot of you guys from getting that next kind of level in your trading is these two things. One is, and they're related to each other. One is you always want to be right because everyone on Twitter is always right. Everyone on Twitter is always right. That's what it seems like. Oh my God, this guy catches every move. He's never wrong. He's always right. That person's a LARP. I guarantee it. If they're pretending like they're always right, they're a fucking LARP. It is what it is. Okay? People get shit wrong all the time. So you have this idea in your head that you need to be always right. So you're afraid to be wrong. The other issue is you think that you need to be right all the time to make money. You don't. You don't even need to be right half of the time to make money. You can be right less than half of the time and make money. How the fuck is BTC up in the watch list? Yeah, I know. So I tweeted about this. Bitcoin dominance is been pushing, and it's reclaimed most of this dump, and alts still look good. So if this goes up more, right, then maybe Bitcoin continues to outperform. But if this rolls over again, that's when it gets really exciting for altcoins, right? Can I look at Ondo? That is a great example, Peter. Federer only won 54% of the points he played. And he's one of the GOATs, no? How about that fucking Roland Garros game, Sinner versus Alcaraz or whatever, Alcaraz? The guy had 3 championship points in a row, could not win, and then the guy came back all the way and won it. So, yeah, I posted this. I don't even know when, but big monthly demand here, and then we put in a weekly sweep. How is this setup any different than the one I just showed you? It's attempting to put in a weekly high or low, right? It's attempting to put in a weekly high or low. There's your breaker. You could argue that this is an entry right now with your stop there. Target to there at least. Is that good enough risk reward? Remember, we're on the weekly chart here. We could zoom in and we could refine. So, I mean, it's 1.25. Maybe that's not good enough. Maybe you don't take that setup. Or you zoom in. You say, okay, well, we've got that weekly sweep now. Now, instead of putting my stop, all the way down here, maybe I want to try and find a setup that's a little closer, right? Like this stop's too wide. Okay, great. Zoom in. Okay, well, if the H12 breaks out here, right, then your stop could be here and your entry's here. Same target. This is definitely going to be 2R. Again, we're just banking on this being the higher low on the weekly that we're in the process of forming, right? We're banking on this. So all of these coins are potentially setting up to have expansive legs higher. You have to be willing to throw a few darts at a few of these setups, go through your watch list, and determine, hey, is this a trade I'm willing to take here? Stop down there, entry here, target here, here, and here. If yes, boom. What happens if all of these fail? Well, then that means that the market in general is probably going lower. So who cares? You took the shot. You're trying to make money. Sometimes it's not going to work. If Bitcoin's going to pull back a bit and you assume that it's going to go higher, when Bitcoin comes here, you better be going through your watch list and trying to find all those longs and just start throwing the darts, dude. So I think today is probably a pretty good day to go through your charts and look for coins that are potentially setting up bullish. Some of them are looking good right now. Some of them, maybe they've traded up a little bit and they need a bit of a pullback. Great. See if Bitcoin pulls back a little bit and it'll give you your entry. But the way that people catch these trades, you got to know that you're looking to long here, right? I gave you guys this level as an area that I thought the price would bounce from. I posted it. But if go look on June 4th and 5th. Go look at the timeline. Go look at DGen Ping's Twitter and all the people who were going, ha, so much for joyful June. And they bear posted directly into support. The way that you catch these lows is the best buys are the red candles. I want to buy stuff that is pulling back into support. So that's what you need to be doing. You need to be going through your charts, marking out the areas where you want to do business. And then when we come there, you got to be willing to execute. You got to be willing to take the punts. So if that's something that you feel like you're missing, use this stream as a kick in the ass, right? To start actually taking the trades. You know what I mean? Like, what was the bottom here on equities? This was peak fear. How many people were bear posting this like into oblivion when it's like, okay, what else can go wrong? And we just took out major lows into support. It's the same thing every fucking time. Most of these people on Twitter who try and dunk on you for being wrong don't trade and don't make any money. So the fact that you're giving them any mind share at all is silly. Don't do that. Be willing to be wrong. It's okay. Just because some guy on Twitter might dunk on you because you post something and get wrong. You shouldn't even be posting on Twitter for the most part when you're learning. Just focus on making money, man. So, yeah, lots of stuff looks pretty good here, man. Why did I use the white and blue candles? Just because my eyes got tired of looking at the same fucking charts with the white background. I just kind of like this darker theme. Nothing deep. No, there's no deep meaning there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm good at charting and marking good pullback points, but I never execute when it actually comes time. I had 0.85 for Fartcoin and even posted it, and also of Ava AI at 0.03. But sadly, I didn't enter, and I'd be up 25% on both. So why didn't you enter? Right? Why did you not enter? Did you not trust your plan? Were you going to risk too much money? Like if I have a 100K account, and my risk is 2%, right? So that means my 1R is 2K. I need to be willing for that money to evaporate, right? You're sending this money out to war, and you're hoping that it comes back a fucking hero. But maybe it doesn't come back at all. Right? But if you're like, fuck, I marked the level and it went there and I didn't pull trigger, you got to sit there and ask yourself, why? Why didn't I take the trade? Why didn't I pull trigger? This number needs to be a number that you're comfortable losing, and you're not going to lose a wink of sleep over it. Sure, we can look at silver. Silver broke out, I'm pretty sure, today. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this on last stream. I'm like, this thing is ready to fucking go. So this looks like it's about to fucking go parabolic. Looks really good. If you look at the gold-silver ratio, right? This is ETH BTC. Okay. But for gold and silver. So it's gold on top, silver on the bottom. Meaning, right, if this chart's going down, silver is stronger than gold. And that's apparent here in the chart itself. So if this sells off now, right, took out these range highs here. If this sells off a little bit, that bodes well for silver continuing to outperform. But yeah, silver looks good, dude. You know, where's the setup here? This would be, I don't even know, man. Like, I would need some sort of pullback. Some sort of pullback. I imagine the dollar is probably nuking. It's still on demand. Hi from Poland. KB says, if I have a 100K account, bro, nobody has that. Bro, you can buy a 100K account on Breakout for fucking $1,000. Now you're trading a 100K account. Okay, let's say you have $1,000, bro. Then your 1R, if you're risking 2%, is $20. It's no different. Stop thinking in terms of the money. Because if you say, okay, well, I don't have 100K. If you can't grow a $1,000 account, you're not going to be able to grow a 100K account. And if you're not comfortable with 1R at 1,000, you're not going to be comfortable at 100 or a million or multiple millions. It's just 1R. The account size is irrelevant. It's 1R. And believe it or not, lots of people have 100K accounts, bro. A lot of people have a lot of money and are trading and don't even know what they're doing, and they're trading. But start being a little bit more positive. Be a little bit more excited. Stop being like so negative. You'll get to 100K one day. You'll get to more. So this guy says, yeah, enjoy risking 2% on a breakout account. Laugh my ass off. Gilberto says, hey, Nick, how much should I risk per trade when doing the one step of Val on breakout? So again, 1R is 1R, right? So if you're trading 100K, let's use the 10K account. Okay, the 10K, one step. With the one step, you only need to pass one phase to get funded, meaning you can get funded in a single trade. You can lose a maximum of 6% total. That doesn't change, or 4% every single day. So that's your daily drawdown, your max drawdown. So if your maximum drawdown, which is the one that I would focus on, is 6%, right? That's going to be $600. I would say risking 1% is probably the max here, right? Because if you're risking 1%, you're going to be risking $100 a trade. That allows you to get 6 trades in a row wrong before blowing up. So I would say between 0.5 and 1% is probably where I'd stick. On the 2-step, because you have that bigger drawdown, I think you can risk 2%. But I would say between 0.5 and 1% is where I'd be risking, because that means you can get 6 trades in a row wrong before you blow up the account. So on the 1-step, I would risk less than I'd risk on the 2-step. But the advantage of the 1-step is you only need to take 1 trade to pass. So I did a video, I posted it on YouTube about Monday's range. We're about to have all of Monday's ranges print out in half an hour, 29 minutes. We're going to have Monday's range print out on all of these different coins here. So we'll look at Bitcoin, for example. Okay. If you have a let's just assume for a second that Bitcoin does this and then it gets back below and then it trades to Monday's low. We're speaking hypothetically here, of course. And you were to take this short, and this pays 2R. Okay? If you're risking $100 on the 1-step and this works, right? You made 200. Maybe you take this trade once a week. Maybe you take this on 3 or 4 different trades. Maybe this ends up trading down to here. You're going to be halfway. If it trades down to 100 again, you're going to be halfway to passing already. If you find a trade that's 5R or 10R, you can literally pass that in 1 trade. If you're going to risk 2%, even less, right? If it does this, trades down to here, and this is like a 5R trade, and you're risking $200, you'd pass the evaluation in that single trade. So I would still say 1%, because if you're risking 2%, you literally, 3 trades wrong is very possible. Like, it's very easy to get 3 trades wrong. 6 trades in a row wrong, like all in a row, is a lot less likely. So I think 1% is pretty safe. New traders tend to go high on lev and get wrecked. I mean, yeah, new traders do a lot of stuff to get wrecked. I am a businessman. A businessman. I do have videos identifying breakers. Just go through my education channel on YouTube. How do payouts work for breakout? You can, once you're funded, so let's say you have a 10K account. Once you're funded, any money you make above this is able to be withdrawn. There's an 80-20 or a 90-10 split, depending on which option you choose. So let's assume you went with the 90-10. So if you trade this up to 11,000, that means you get, and you withdraw the entire amount, you would get 900, and we would keep 100. And you can do that every single day, as often as you want. We do payouts every single day. You don't got to wait or hit some crazy metric. We had a guy who had a 100K account. He traded it to over 200,000, and then he withdrew like 95K, and it was done. Now he's back, and he's still trading that same account. So it's up to you. You can do your withdrawals multiple times a day. You can try and run it up and go for a huge one. It's totally up to you. Why try and get funding? Just use your own cash, because it gives you the opportunity to leverage more money. You can do both. You don't have to just use a prop firm. You can use a prop firm, use your own money. You can do both. But if you want to trade a big account, just use your own money. What if you don't have a lot of money? You can trade a 100K account. It costs $1,000, and you get 5x leverage for Bitcoin and ETH. So you can open a $500,000 Bitcoin position, and you paid $1,000 for that account. That's leverage. It's literally leverage. We do have breach insurance. I don't remember the cost of it. I probably should know that. I think it's 10%, but I don't remember. Hey, Maine, is it okay to long accumulation and just wait for somewhere close to the top of the bull run and close the position? Long in accumulation. So the problem with your question here, Bruce, is you're saying, is it okay to long accumulation and then just try and sell the top? There's two issues here. One, how do you know it's accumulation or distribution? Sometimes price does this, and it can break up or it can break down. You don't know if this was accumulation or distribution until it's already happened, right? There's a reality where this, where am I going here? There's a reality where this could have been accumulation. You don't know. You don't know for sure that this is going to break down. The other issue with your question is you're saying, and then you just sell somewhere near the top of the bull run. Well, how do you know where and when that's going to be? So there's nothing wrong. If you think something's in accumulation, you say, hey, this is accumulation. We're going to break up from here. By all means, you can long, but how do you know, one, whether you're right or not, right? What happens if it goes down here and it keeps going? Do you realize that maybe this was distribution? And two, selling near the top, that means you got to know where the top is, right? But absolutely, you can buy accumulation and assume that things are going to continue to trade higher, but you need to have some kind of plan, some kind of game plan for how to get out. We have no consistency rules. We have no max or min trading days. We don't have any fucking stupid rules like that. There is a measuring tool already. If you go in the Discord and watch my platform walkthrough, there is a measuring tool. I didn't know people were hating on Breakout. If they are, tell them to suck my fucking nutsack. Hell yeah, Brian. We love to hear it. There's nothing wrong with 100x if you have the right position size. Unironically, true. Does Breakout work in the UK? Yes, it does. Ave. Okay, let's look at Ave. Damn. Shit ripped today. So many of these coins, dude, just came into monthly support. Again, why are you as a man, and this also did the 3-month thing, right? It took out the 3-month low into demand. It's just a bid. You just bid that. So that ripped pretty good. I must have looked at this last week and been trying to find an entry, and I didn't quite come there. So at this point, how do you get in this, right? This is one of those ones that it's already up a bunch in the last week. This is up, AVE BTC must be, ripping right now. I don't know if they got some, I don't know why this is so strong compared to some other stuff. I would be looking at coins that, to me, what's a better long? Like, this is already ripped. It doesn't mean that you can't long strength, but this is moved less. So I think there's an easier setup to find here versus Ave or Ave, however the fuck you say it. I would need some sort of pullback here, right? Like, I need a new range to form because it just broke out. Here was the range, and it is in the process of this is the range. Like, it is breaking out right now. So I'm not going to chase this. It's literally making a new high as we speak. I would much rather let this move happen, find my new trading range, get myself into trade that way, right? Sometimes you got to be patient. This one, I think unless you're already in it, then it looks phenomenal. But I don't see an entry here, at least in the immediate term. Even on the low time frame, like, this is straight up vertical. Look at the hourly. How do you get in that? It's just circle beta. Maybe that's right. What indicator you use to mark out Monday's range? I use Spaceman's indicator, Spaceman BTC. Will I ever see $500K to $1 million accounts on Breakout? Probably not. We already allow up to $200K allocation, and you can open up $1 million of notional Bitcoin across those two accounts. That's plenty. Yeah, like, everything is just fucking sending to end the day, dude. Absolute send show. Look at Fartcoin, bro. This is a 1 minute candle. The prop firm is Breakout. It's my prop firm. Links in the description. Look at this 1 minute candle on Fartcoin, bro. Like, so fucking funny. Bro, I know might have zero value to you, but your content is crazy good and full of value. I'm taking notes on every vid stream. Much respect, you make a chat. Appreciate that, bro. That's very nice. Look at Troll. You'll love it. Do you only trade high time frame? Not only, but primarily, yeah. Is this Troll? Troll or Troll Face? Which one of these is it? Is it on TradingView, though? Because if it's not on TradingView, that's gay. Soul? Like, is this it? Are any of these correct? Like, is this it? Troll Soul? Looks decent. Pepe does look pretty good. Pass phase 1 today on my challenge. Stoked. Hell yeah, dude. Congrats. Yeah, if you go, Gareth, into the Discord, I did a video kind of walking through the platform, covering some of the more basic kind of intricacies. Can we look at Kato? This probably had a pretty killer H1 entry that we just didn't quite take out that low, did it? But mitigation nonetheless. Yeah, that would have been a pretty sweet entry right there today. Oh, man. ETH is going for it tonight. It is going for it tonight. So we're going to have a ton of Monday's ranges to work with. So in 15 minutes, all of these Monday's ranges are going to close. And we're going to have huge Monday's ranges on a lot of these coins. And so I think the way that I'll probably be looking to play this week, because everything is so strong, is I'll be looking for a move above Monday's range And then once it gets back in, yeah, you can short, but what I'm probably looking for is once we get the deviation, I'm actually going to be looking for the higher low to form. Like this is kind of how I envision seeing a lot of these Mondays ranges. I'm just drawing this randomly. I mean, similar to Bitcoin here, right? Like if we see something like this, this becomes my long entry. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah, they're sending ETH. They're sending the farts. They're sending everything. Hopefully ENA is cooking. Bro, if you can predict a setup, why did you see this setup forming? That doesn't even make sense. Moves to mid-range if we're lucky. I'm fading the Monday's range. I'm not looking to short Monday's range. I'm more so saying if we get a move above and back within, that to me means I want to buy whatever the dip is. But maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe we just fucking fly. We also, right, Monday's range can also be support, right? Like if we trade up, Monday's high can become support. No different than how this old monthly high was support. It's the same thing, just a different time frame. But yeah, things are starting to cook here, boys. So hopefully you're allocated. Hopefully you make some money. I mean, I gave you the level 4 days ago. We're up 10% and everything is ripping since then. So I hope you guys are positioned, making a little bit of money. Why do you think there will be a pullback on alt if they usually go right after ETH? So they anyway will be moon tomorrow or something. I'm not saying there will be a pullback on alts. I don't know where you guys get this stuff from. I literally showed you 4 or 5 coins that I think you could long right now while we were recording the video. Like I fucking posted AVAX like right here and it's moving already, right? Like there's stuff that I said, I'm like, you can long some of these right now. Too many VCs dumping Barra. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Barrachain. Yeah, I gave you Fartcoin at sub $1 at 90 cents. You're welcome, unhost. So there's lots of stuff where if we're just gonna rip, I've given you several coins that we've covered today that I'm like, some of these look like they could just go from right where they are. Like Link was one of them, AVAX was one of them. Pepe was one of them. Like, there's a lot of coins that look like, hey, these can just rip from right where they are. Right where they are, these things can go if the market's going to continue higher. If the market pulls back, I'm going to look to long these coins as they come in demand. Let's say I long Pepe right now. Stop there. I long it here. I target here. That's a trade. But what happens if the market pulls back and then it does this? I'd probably take the trade again, because I still think the market is strong. Like, again, if this first trade is wrong, but then the second trade is right, and this one's 3R, and I lost 1R on the first trade, I'm still up net. Sometimes it takes more than one attempt. So maybe you take the breakout trade, it doesn't work, you try again on the pullback. I'm on the phone with Link Marine. He's up Jenny Wealth on his Link spot and perp positions. I don't believe you. I do actually think Link looks good, though. Like, straight up. I think Link looks good. So it's kind of sad that he's not here because I'm bull posting Link. Like, I think Link looks good. This is like a good setup, in my opinion. You got that. Like, this to me is like right here. Probably you could wait. You could wait until you get an H12 close above there, or you could probably just fucking rip this right as it is. Just withdrew from breakout. Let's fucking go, dude. Ched says he knows where Bitcoin is going 80% of the time. Is that realistic? I don't know, bro. If you know where something's going 80% of the time, you better be really, really fucking rich. You know? Like, I could argue that I have a good idea of what Bitcoin's going to do, but knowing where it's going to go and actually trading it is two completely different things. I talk about this all the time. Like, you might say Bitcoin's going to 130 from here. Okay, but like, are you getting in trades between here and here? Like, did you make any money? Or are you just someone who's predicting shit on Twitter? 80% is pretty high level of accuracy. That means 8 out of 10 times you're going to be right on the direction. Okay, but can you make money? It's way easier to predict where price is going to go than it is to actually trade those moves. Because let's say he thinks it's going to go to 130. Does that mean I can just long right now and close here? What happens if it does this first? Does that wreck me? You know what I mean? So maybe he does. That's pretty high level of accuracy, though. Dalzim. Oh, what a great name. Trying to rage bait me. Yoga Fire. I got wrecked hard by trying to long the last ETH fake out instead of splitting, as you're suggesting. If you run your account up from breakout and not withdraw the profits, is the max account drawdown based on the account value at the start of the day or based on the initial funding amount? It's balance based. So if your account is at 150K, right, your maximum drawdown, so let's assume you have a two-step account. Two-step, okay? And it's 100K, or even the one-step, it doesn't matter. 100K one-step. If you trade this account up to $200,000, your max drawdown is still at 100K. So like you could lose every day all the way back down and you're not gonna breach. But your daily drawdown is based on this amount. So let's say you lose a couple of trades in a row, now you're down at 196 or whatever. Okay? Just stop trading, wait for the day to roll over. Now it's based on this. So it's always based on your balance. It's not based on your equity or any of that gay shit. So you can absolutely run your account up. The difference between the two-step and the one-step, the two-step, you have to pass two phases. So you got to earn 5%, and then you got to earn 10%, and then you're funded. The one-step, you just have to earn 10%, and then you're funded. But the two-step, you get more drawdown. So you get more DD here than you do here. So a little bit harder to pass, but you get more wiggle room once you're funded. Easier to pass, but the drawdown's tighter. We did have 4-hour charts before Coinbase. Pretty crazy, right? Do you know where I can long ETH charts like ETH BTC? Most exchanges like Blowfin, Bybit, Binance, all of those exchanges have ETH BTC. You can also long ETH and then short BTC for the same amount. And this is longing ETH BTC. It's the same trade. The total account drawdown is static on the one step, so it does not move. It stays at that amount that it was at the start permanently. The two step, it trails, but only up to your starting balance. So if you have a 100K account, you're trading at, and you're at 150K, Your max drawdown is sitting at 100 grand. It doesn't follow you up. Can we do Doge? Sure, bro. Again, another one of these ones that's putting in a breaker. I would have loved to have longed this. Probably would have been the move. But this is like an H12 breaker, and it's already starting to kind of push away. So, you know, do you take the gamble? It's already moved a little. Risk reward is still probably pretty decent. Like even to there, just under 1.5, just to there, and that's with a shit entry. Or you could wait for it to break structure, so wait for it to trade above there, and then try and get in on a pullback. Oh, man. It's going to be a very fun week. Remember, guys, as well, we have CPI on Wednesday. CPI is on Wednesday, okay? So market's volatile, near all-time highs, stocks near all-time highs, and CPI is Wednesday. It's going to be a big week. Going to be a big week. Break Freaky. You can also buy breach insurance, which means if you breach and you have profit in the account, we still let you withdraw it. All right, guys, I got to go to the gym. This video went on a little longer than I wanted, but I'm streaming 3 times every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll be back with another video on Wednesday. If you got any questions, of course, let me know. As usual, I appreciate you guys. I love you. If you want to support your boy, all the links in the description for Breakout, for the Haven, for the indicator that draws out your order blocks, all my fucking ref links. That's all I ask. Click my buttons. At the very least, leave me likes, comments. Tell me how handsome I am. You guys know the drill. So, yeah, I'll be back. Hope everyone has a great day. Going to be a big week. Hope you're making some fucking money. Let's get it. I'll talk to you soon.